Welcome back, everybody. The saying is success loves speed. And if you're new, welcome to the family, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Absolutely. If you're still on and you're a new guest, definitely talk to your friend that brought you here as well, too. And if you're part of this family, welcome to the family as well. We're just so excited for you guys to join us. I know it's crazy. There's just so much that's going on right here, you know, and what just happened? What just happened, right? Can you tell there's a certain energy here? There's a certain movement here. There's a something going on here. Rhonda, congrats on winning the renews will too. Like there's some spectacular things that are happening here. And I just want to kind of bring it back home, okay? I love what Fred ended with, which was this, okay? See, I'm just like everyone else here. Who here's here and you just want to make, you want to just grow. You want to do better in life, right? Drop a one if that's you. You just want to move forward. You just want to make more of an impact. You want to make more income. You just want to grow. Like you might be so fired up right now. And it's like, what exactly do we do? Like, and I know there's a lot of questions on Kwik and there's little logistics and there's things on NewAge and there's like, what are the products? And there's a lot of things at the very same time. But you know, the honest answer is this. The honest answer, if you want to win, is that you don't need to know everything about Kwik. The honest answer is to win in life. You don't need to know all the little nitty-gritty details of what comes in Renew. The honest answer is you don't need spiky hair to be real, right? You don't need spiky hair. You see Fred, he doesn't have spiky hair, you know. You don't need any of that stuff. And definitely welcome all of our new family members. But you know, the one thing that you do need to have is this. You need to have a winning attitude. You need to have a winning mindset. And just allow us to have a little bit of a coaching session right here, because I'm just gonna keep it real right here. And I know Fred will attest as well too, but it doesn't matter how good the opportunity is. It doesn't matter how amazing and how many patents Kwik has. None of that matters because it's all external. What's internal and what we can do in taking charge of our life and thinking the right way of how to win, that's what matters. I've learned that mindset is success is 95% mindset, 5% is skill set. And what I wanted to do today, especially for those in this session, and wow, we have like almost 200 people here, Fred. Like I was actually expecting way less, but I think you sparked something in them, you know? So Fred, and what we're going to do, we'll have a quick interview for maybe like 20, 30 minutes. And then after that, we actually have a challenge that happened in the Warrior movement that is super, super exciting. So I know Becky's telling that up. But Fred, I want to ask you some questions about winning. Okay, winning. Let me start with a story. So Fred, I remember we were in Caribbeans together. And if you guys have never played a game with Fred, there's a reputation with Fred. Everything Fred does, whether it's business or an obstacle course, his team always wins. So we were doing this obstacle course in Caribbeans. It was all the North American, all the leaders in North America, and I was not on his team. And I was watching this. I'm like, we're gonna beat Fred. We're gonna beat Fred. We're doing some tug of war. We're doing all these different obstacles, and what do you know? Fred's team won yet again. So there's a winning set to do things, and Fred is very athletic, very much so. But you know, I'm like, I'm like younger, stuff like that, right? I'm like, I kind of work out, so I'm thinking we got this. Even in something like tug of war, still lost. So Fred, I want to ask you about winning, if you don't mind. I'd love to just let me ask you this: like, were you always just a winner in life? Like, how did that come about? When did you recognize that you could just win and everything? And you're on mute right now at the moment. Let me ask you to mute real quick.
I couldn't otherwise, so thank you.
Yep.
You know, I think some people are just innately competitive and some are not. And so I was one of those who was not innately competitive. I got in line 47 times to be competitive. I hate to lose, hate it. In fact, one of my favorite quotes is from Yogi Berra, right? Who said, hey, life, I think life is a game, right? It's a game. 90% of it is mental. The other half is physical. I really believe that. It is first mindset. You got to change the way you think if you want to be successful. We should go through and take a few things. Maybe I ask a few questions or something, and you can kind of see, do you even think right? And remember, I was raised by a single mom who had $50,000 from her life insurance policy when she died. She taught me to go to school. That's why I'm well educated. She told me to go get a good job. And gee, if I follow what my mom's advice was, maybe I'll be a winner and have 50,000 from a life insurance when I'm dead too. So something made me click and go, why am I listening to my mother? I love my mother. She'll make me cry. She's the most wonderful human on the planet, but she's a freaking concert pianist. She did not do her life to make money. And if I'm going to do that, why am I listening to a failure financially? Now, you want to learn piano? Oh, go talk to my mom. She's phenomenal. You want to learn interpersonal skills? Go talk to my mother. She's phenomenal. Don't go to my mother about financial issues. And when it was competition, she used to get so mad at me. I remember I got struck out once in baseball. I was pretty good in baseball. I got struck out. James, I was so mad. I started smashing my bat up at plate. Everybody looked and was mortified, going, dude, you need to be a sportsman. I said, no. Sportsmanship is what we teach losers to do when they've lost. My coach walked over and said, you have issues, and sat me on the bench and benched me.
Wow.
Okay, now I'm hysterical because I'm a freshman playing high school baseball, right? I walked over, pulled out the pitching machine. It was after the game when most kids were off going away, and I am getting that pitching machine to throw me the balls, and I am swinging. Every pitch was that pitcher's face who struck me out. When the coach got done, got cleaned up, walked out, he sees this player out on the field, hysterical. And I'll bet I was there an hour and a half. I couldn't stop swinging. He walked up to me and I almost burst out crying. He's like, what is your problem? I said, I lost. I don't lose. I don't strike out. You just don't. You can fly out, you can ground out, but you don't strike out. My relationship changed with my coach that day because instead of resenting me for being a poor sport, he taught me how to challenge it, to accept defeat, but never give up and find alternative ways to think and do. So, James, half the reason I always win is because the masses do it however the masses do it. I have to cheat by thinking of, okay, how can I do it so I don't end up like the masses? Because if I do what they do, I'll be like them too. And that's kind of been my mantra as I try different things. And I'm not afraid to fail. Failure is not an option. But when you don't succeed, you don't fail unless you won't get up again. So just try something new and keep trying something new. And then you really never did fail. You just kept trying.
Successful people do things a certain way. We've been studying.
And they're different. They think different.
Yeah. I mean, what you just said right there. I mean, who here is willing to say that you need to change your mindset to think more like what Fred did? You know, drop a 1 in the chat if you would say, I just need to change that thought. And
really, let's do it. Okay. I want to do a little test. Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Okay. I don't want you to cheat. You're going to cheat by either looking at your neighbors when they're there, talking to your neighbor, or you're going to give me the answer you think I want to hear. Don't do that. Then you just ruin it for yourself. I'm going to ask you these questions to see how you honestly think. Okay? You can't learn anything in psychology if you're always giving me the right answer. You're just like, well, congratulations. You know the right answer, but that's not really how you feel. Okay, here you go. I want you to write down, just text it in your phone. Don't put it on the chat board, but just write it down somewhere or put it on your phone so you remember. I want you to write down 3 things that you would do if you won the lottery? Write them down.
I got mine. Put in your phone, Vivian. Not in the chat.
Okay, you done?
Yep.
Okay, come on. Everybody thinks about winning the lottery. So everybody writes down something. I mean, that takes about a nanosecond, right? It's like, oh, I've already thought about this my whole life. And write it down. Are we done?
Yes.
Okay, Rhonda's done. So if Rhonda's done, everybody's done. Okay. First of all, if some of you are honest, okay, so I'm going to follow James's suit. Put honestly, if number one, put a one down, if you put something on the list that was something you're going to buy. You're going to buy something. I'd buy shoes. I'd buy the car I always wanted. I'd put something down there. Okay, so I assume there's a lot of people that are putting one.
Yep. Yep.
Okay? And by the way, I wouldn't be surprised if you put down several numbers, not just one, right? Okay. Everybody who put a one, I hope you listen to me because you don't think right. Okay? We're going to fix your thinking. Number two, put down a two if you pay off bills. You pay your mortgage off. You pay your car off. You pay your everything off. Put that down.
Lots of twos. A lot of twos. More twos than ones, I feel, actually.
Okay? If you're a two, I'm talking to you too. You have got to change your mindset. You're just crazy. Okay? You'll never, ever, ever succeed if you put two down too. Okay, now you might get lucky. Generally speaking, I'm a statistician. I do the masses. I don't do the individual. There's always an exception to every rule. Okay, so if you want to play the exception and you want to play the odds, feel free, but I will be wrong once and I'll be right 99 times. So, okay. How about some of you that say, put a 3 in if you did something with philanthropic? I would give it to my mother and pay off her debt. I would donate it to the Red Cross. I would donate some of it to, I don't give a crap what you put. Write it down.
Lots of threes. Me too.
Okay, so if you're a 3, unless you are independently wealthy now, which means you do not need to work and you can pay all your bills comfortably, and your bills are simply your lifestyle, this would not apply. For those of you who it doesn't apply to, you're fine. That doesn't apply to, I'm going with nobody on this call, except me. So, if you put a 3, you have got to change your mindset. I'm talking to you 3 years too. All right, number 4. Now the smart people. How many of you would invest it in assets? You would buy something that you expect to go up in value. So you might buy a house because that at least is an asset. You wouldn't buy a car. Well, I don't know. Used cars right now are going up in value. So don't ask me. But normally a car is not an asset. You'd buy it in stocks. Maybe you would buy some long-term bonds or land. Okay. Put a 4 if you put, I'm going to invest some of it.
Lots of 4s.
A lot of 4s?
Yep.
I have got to change your mindset. You
I struck
boomers
out.
are crazy.
I'm throwing my bat on the floor, Fred. I struck out.
I have a hunch. Every single person, I don't know how many are on the call.
There's 199.
2 of you have a chance. 2 of you have a chance, not counting me, to have gotten the right answer. All the rest of you, I was talking to you, and you don't believe I was talking to you. The answer is, what would you do right now, right? What would you do if you won the lottery? The correct answer is, I would return the lottery ticket to the person who lost it. Because I don't do the lottery. I don't think about the lottery. There's no chance for a lottery. And why on earth are you wasting my time on this call talking about a lottery? Rich people don't talk about the lottery. There's no lottery. There's no free lunch. There ain't no way you're going to get a free ride, residual income without work. You're never going to get, this just doesn't happen. So you're right. There is one girl every year or one guy who calls me a liar because they won the lottery, and all 50 million others prove me right. And the one that won the lottery will probably be broke in 5 years.
Wow.
So we just don't waste our time talking about. So rich people, when you said the mindset, it's not about not losing. It's, I don't waste my time thinking about easy, free, doing nothing for something. No, instead, where do I focus my energy and my challenge that will get me the biggest return on my investment of time? And it doesn't necessarily mean money. It could be relationships. It could be anything in your life where you're not satisfied enough. You only have one true value in your life, and that is your time. That is the only thing you have, and you spend it foolishly when you think about, I'm going to go buy some shoes. Rich people think like this. How do I make shoes that are going to make people want to waste their time talking about them and going and buying them?
I just bought shoes yesterday, Fred. How'd you know?
Right? Do you sit around and watch a football game? Rich people, people who want to be successful go, look at this captive audience watching football. What can I do while they're wasting their time to entice them to do something I want? If we're talking finances today, because that's the topic, what do? Why aren't you the guy out there finding a way to pimp popcorn, baseball hats, standing at the corner when they do it? Where's a good parking lot I could invest in? What are ways I can make money on the people who are foolish enough to waste their time on whatever thing you're wasting your time on? Think about it. You all know the phrase, nothing good comes easy.
Yep.
There's no such thing as a free lunch, and yet we do it, right? So remember, one of the mindset changes is you have to start thinking, what can I do to become, in this talk, successful? And I still want to emphasize, it could be in your relationships, it could be with your kids, it could be anything you want to be successful in. And then keep in mind, when you win the lottery, you think it's this end-all, be-all, right? But Arthur Ashe said it best. He said, success is a journey, right? Not a destination. The doing is often more important than the outcome. It changes your very being of who you are. It changes how you think and what you do. setbacks are not failures. They're learnings, they're educations on how to do something differently, right?
Yeah. Gosh. Fred, that's what I love about network marketing and business. It's a compensation plan wrapped around personal growth.
Yes.
It is a never ending game, right?
Yes.
Gosh. I want to ask you on, okay, I think a big issue that I face for sure, I know many teammates do too. Let's say they're starting new in their new age business, right? They're like fired up. All right, I'm going to go. Because the natural goal is I want to make some money. Like all the things you just talked about are what our goals are towards, right? I want to pay off debt. I want to maybe buy something nice. I want to maybe invest it or give it to charity, something like that, which are good things. But if you were like, how do you set a goal? If you're new, how do you think about goals in your business, like a new age business, for example?
Okay, I'm different on this one too, but I think a lot different than a lot of people.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you heard me talk about Kwik, it's a pretty lofty goal to say every transaction in the world on all goods and services. And believe me, you didn't even get half of what I meant. You probably never thought of frequent flyer miles, right? Reward points. Frequent flyer miles are going to be quicked so that when everybody flies on Delta, you get some miles for them flying on Delta. Wow. You probably never thought of interest rates on a credit card. When people use a credit card you referred, you're going to get interest on it. When your kids are playing a video game and they get a super platinum LeBron James on Y2K, they get points and credits for virtual avatars when they refer people to playing games. Okay, it gets huge. Okay, this vision is humongous. Okay, great. And I've heard the quote, aim for the stars, and if you hit the moon, you still did great. Okay, yeah. My goal, honestly, is one step at a time. When I have to go a long ways, okay, so out of my ranch, I'm out here hunting, I've got to go things. If I look at the horizon, I'm screwed. I'm like, oh my gosh, it is so far. It is so long, I'll never make it. If I just focus on the cactus to get around him today and what's on it, once I know my direction, just put my head down, one day at a time, one step at a time, one moment at a time, and be in the moment. And if you'll just do that, for me, it's very easy because it really doesn't matter how long the journey is. I'll know the destination when I get there, which of course ends up never because it's the journey.
Right.
But I enjoyed the journey all the way. And it changed me. It changed my relationships. It changed how I invest because I really don't believe a 3-year plan works out. I think Kwik is going to be the transaction for all affiliate marketing programs for all companies. You know what? It may end up being a flop and I only get Walmart and it's their exclusive affiliate program. Well, that wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
Right? So you really never know what it's going to be. Yeah. So instead, have a direction. And then it's one step at a time. And as opportunities come on, as obstacles come in, just step to the side, step forward, because everybody can take one more step. I don't care how tired you are.
That's gold right there. Hey, drop a 10 in the chat if that just like blew your mind right there. Because Fred, like when you're saying this, you totally live it. Because one thing I've noticed about you, Fred, when we have a conversation, and I'm always like deeply respectful of your time and everything, but you're never rushed. You have a bajillion things you can do, right? You are there and only there. And it's like, there is no time, right? Like you're present. So it's exactly what you said.
Yeah, you're going to miss your life if you're always looking for the future. I'm going to be happy when I'm rich. I'm going to be happy when I get a car. Right now I'm having a meltdown with my child and I'm fighting every minute. So therefore, look, the future's going to come. Why are you worried about the future? Right? Worry about the now. Be in the now. The future will take care of itself if you make a bunch of nice, correct, course-changing little steps every day. I know it sounds crazy, but you'll be shocked. Then you look back one day and you go, oh my gosh, look how far I've come. I had no idea. And if you'd have told me I had to walk this far when I began, I'd have never done it. I'd have said, it's too far. I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly it. Hey, babe, do you have any question or any feedback for what Fred's saying as well, too? I don't want to be the only one talking. You know, I'm going to bring you up here right here. We're tallying up the results right now, Becky, Fred. So we have that soon. But babe,
I
want
have
to
the
bring.
results already.
Okay, gotcha. But did you have anything you want to chime in on there too?
Yeah, I think it's just it's like I'm speechless because Fred, you're like a living testimony of what success looks like. And I think a lot of people look at you and they feel like, oh, that's like not me. That's like too far to reach. Like, I don't have that mentality. I think like what would really help the group is giving them some like practical I guess advice on how do they get out of that mindset that they've been stuck in for so long, because maybe their families like that. Maybe they have a negative environment that's always talking them down. And maybe they just, you know, and that like personally, I feel like, you know, I never grew up having big dreams. I never grew like, I just wanted a safe, secure job. And then when I joined network marketing, I was like, wow, like there are people that are just like me that are able to achieve like big things. And if they can do it, why not me? And I feel like being around this environment really helped me just take that one step at a time, like you mentioned. But do you have any practical like tips that for people that maybe are just like, you know, I'm trying, but maybe after this call, a day later, they go back to their old self and their old like mentality?
Yeah, well, we all do that, myself included, right? We all go back to what we shouldn't be doing. So it goes back to, again, slow, one step at a time, progress. So do you want to keep it at money? Should we go to relationships? Should we go to our personal opinion of ourselves? To me, it's all the same, right? It's the same solution in every case. So this time, let's not do money, right? This time, let's do your relationship with your spouse. Okay, want to know what you're doing when you're fighting? Gee, this is really hard. You're thinking about all the reasons why your spouse is a loser and why you are a victim and why you keep trying, you keep doing it, you keep giving, it's all about you, isn't it? It's all a selfish behavior that is, wow, maybe I should stop doing what I'm doing and change my mindset. I know I just keep repeating, but it's really that easy. So instead of walking and going, okay, Becky, you go, James is just a jerk. He always does this. What if you just switched your mindset to go, okay, wait a minute. What if the problem wasn't James? What if the problem was me? What if the problem really was me? And my problem is, James, I don't know, I'm going to make it up. Every time you wake up in the morning and you go to give him a hug, he just jumps out of bed, doesn't even say good morning to you, and he just runs into the bathroom. So you're like, wow, he doesn't even give me a hug in the morning, tell me I'm beautiful, or kiss me or anything. If you would honestly just stop to think, okay, maybe I'm the one who's jacked up. Why does he do it? Instead of thinking it is something against you, it's not fair, life's not fair. Should we put money on this? It's the same thing. Stop to go, okay, I'm not getting my hug out of him that I want in the morning. And me yelling at him, telling him he's a loser, thinking bad thoughts, really isn't helping me get what I want. Gee, why do I keep doing the same stupid thing, expecting different results? So what you do is then talk to him and say, James, you always get up in the morning, I don't get my hug. And then you find out he says, oh yeah, because I wake up in the morning, I'm worried I have bad breath. So I run and I go brush my teeth, and then I can tell you're mad at me for something, or you're giving me the cold shoulder, or you just get up and I never get a chance to come back. Holy crap, you'd suddenly go, oh yeah, well, it is nice. I don't want to smell your bad breath. So, oh, he's so nice. right?
Yeah.
Think about what you're doing to fix the situation and think, maybe I'm in the situation because it's everything I keep doing repetitively.
Yep.
You will find when you start taking responsibility for your own small changes. I have a hunch James is going to go, wow, I see my wife trying. She's letting me brush my teeth in the morning. I need to race back in bed and give her a big hug. And then suddenly you go, oh, look, he gives me hugs. And instead of thinking, well, it's about time, you little jerk. It took you for instead you just think, wow, how stupid was I? I kept doing the wrong thing. Right?
Yeah.
Business. You're not a risk taker. If you're not a risk taker, you're never going to make money. Never, because you're not willing to lose money. So if you're not a risk taker, you need to say to yourself, okay, I'm not a risk taker. I'm going to risk, I don't know how much, $100, $1,000, $5,000, enough that you mentally feel the anguish, but you say, I'm going to change and I'm going to try. And then when you fail, you know what you're going to say? I knew I should have done it. Fred Cooper's crazy. He didn't do anything. No, then what you tell yourself is, wow, it wasn't as bad to lose as I thought. I'm okay. My next day's still good. I still get along with my kids. I still have a spouse. I still have my job. I'm going to try again. And when you failed 7 times in a row, you can say, this is the dumbest thing and I've just lost 7 grand or 20 grand or 50 grand. Or you can go, you know what? I marvel at how consistent I am at being bad. So the next time I think I'm not going to do something, I'll do it. And the next thing I think I should do, I'm not going to do because I seem to be wrong 100% of the time. What a great attitude to keep trying.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because why? Yogi Bear, 90% metal, 50% effort.
Amazing.
Right?
Attitude is everything. That's amazing.
It is. And it's not just attitude, it's the willingness to be a risk taker. It's the willingness to say, I have got to change me. Because you're never going to change the environment. You're never going to change the world. You're not.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is change yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
One last little point, then we're about done. But one last one. So I needed something from an IT guy when I was in college. I needed him to do something for me on the network, and I couldn't do it myself. I went and asked him, and he was, what, Cooper, you so stupid you can't figure out things yourself? And walked away. Okay, if you know me, I wanted to get up. I wanted to punch him in the face. I wanted to tell him everything. Nobody talks to me like that. I stopped myself. It was all I could do to stop myself. I went, something motivates this guy. I don't know what motivates him, but something does. So I watched him. And there was a cute girl that he liked in that computer room. And I knew that cute girl. I walked over and got her little gift, handed it to her and said, this is for you. I'm not flirting with you. I want you to go flirt with that little man and see if you can do me a favor and get him to do this on the network. She looked at me, smiled, said, no problem. She walked over to him, flirted. He had it done in 2 minutes. I walked away and got what I wanted done. And the satisfaction on my face, I don't care what you get. I just want what I want. And I need to find a way I can accomplish the goal rather than being a victim that everyone is out to get me, cheating me, screwing me, whatever you want to complain about why your life sucks.
Yeah.
It's not true, right?
Yeah. Gosh.
And as soon as you do it, that's how rich people look at it.
Yeah.
Why would I have a job?
Yeah.
Now I have to rely on some other idiot to make all the right decisions. If I'm going down, I'd rather go down with myself, or I would rather have a boss who I have lots of years of experience with, so they have confidence they know more than me in this topic. Just randomly go get a job? Yeah, I'm a little nervous. I'd get a job to keep my head afloat while I was going to look for something else for me to do.
Makes sense.
It's thinking different. In fact, if the masses are thinking like you do, You're doing it wrong.
Yes.
Everyone is looking for social approval. I don't. I look for people to look at me and go, dude, who thinks like that? Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, sweet. That means I'm thinking different. I'm thinking unique.
Oh my gosh. Hey, if you guys are getting fire from this, drop a 10 in the chat. I mean, I can't believe we get this for free. And I think that's one of the biggest benefits here, Fred. When you partner with NewAge and partner with everything, it's literally what you just said. It's personal development. It's a compensation wrapped around personal development. And this is the truth right here. This is the real secret sauce ingredients. And I want everybody here to take this and apply it for you and your goals, right? I think about let me just draw a couple of things and then we'll talk about the winners of this fun challenge, So number one, this is what I got, Fred. Successful people take 100% ownership of the results in everything.
Everything.
Yeah. And they don't take anything risk. Even the lottery, which has a chance, that there is no chance, right? So I'll be sure to always have that from now on, So number one is that. From there, I also heard from you, Fred, set a huge lofty vision that seems so grandiose and crazy, like your Kwik example of just having everything be quick. So we start with a big vision, but the irony to it is focus day at a time, right now, one moment at a time, and be in the present moment in that direction. Would that be correct to say?
Perfect. That way, if you're headed north, you're going north. Now you're one step at a time. And maybe you go a little east, and maybe you go a little everything, but you've got a general direction what you're trying to accomplish.
Gosh. And then from there, take risks. Risk big. Learn. You win or you learn. And that's the journey. That's the journey.
And that's the journey. And if I ended, I would end with Buddha's quote that I believe 100% in, right? He said, think about this. All that we are is the result of what we think. So if you don't like what you are, the final mindset piece was, because you think wrong. And today's conversation was, you need to change your thinking.
Yep. Gosh. Well, hey, everyone that's listening to this, you got some true gold right here. If you're willing to change your thinking for just today, right? That's one day at a time. If you're willing to change your thinking, drop a 100 in the chat for today. Like you're committed to that one day at a time.
One day. That's it. One
step. And we're going to build that up together. And that's what I love about this journey together, right, Fred? Well, thanks for sharing those nuggets. We can't wait to see you. We can't wait to see the Kwik launch and everything else that's going on as well, too. It's going to go amazing. Everyone pray for a successful launch.
No, it'll fail. But wasn't it Thomas Edison who said, I failed my way to success?
That's true.
So same thing. There'll be setbacks. There'll be dropbacks. That's just part of doing business. But anyway.
It's the absolute truth.